Hello. Welcome, welcome. Wonderful to see you coming in. How are we all doing? Are we having fun? Have we had a fun day? Because I guess a lot of you are in your night time, and I'm in my afternoon. Hello, Howard, my friend. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you for such a long time. I've been missing you. I'm so glad you're here. That's excellent. I wonder if a lot of people are still watching Darling Violet. Let's start some music. I was doing that, and then I got waylaid doing other things. Hey, but that's it. Thank you, Howard. Thank you. I'm glad you're looking forward to it too. This was an interesting one because I got this beautiful wee thing, and then decided to use it for our live, and then Blossom Violet. You've been to Blossom Violet's lives, haven't you? I thought I'd seen you at hers. She plays the piano intuitively. So she started at 12, but she's she usually only goes for a couple of hours. So, but yeah, she's probably still on now. Yeah. Hi, Jennifer. Lovely to see you. Yeah, they're 20s. They are 20s. Yeah, so I was just saying that, I got this, I fell in love with it, and it is so beautiful. And then when I came to research it and sort this live out, I nearly pulled my hair out. I was like, what the heck am I doing this one for? But here we are. I hope that what I have found out about it, I'm just like, this is so cool. It's just so cool. It's a tiny wee slab, and it's very, very cool. And it just really drew it. It just drew to me. But yeah, it is. It was not one very good one to try and research. Look at this. I've just looked at it, and there's I can see two ladies or people standing in a boat, and one is holding a candle, I reckon, just down in this area here. Can you see that? Isn't that amazing how you look at things and you just picture something, you just find something in it? I'm like that. I always find things in various paintings and things like this, and yeah, it's fascinating. I like that. Hi, Maribel. How are you, my darling? Lovely to see you. You can see it? Oh, good. I like it when other people can see the things I can see. I often say to my husband, look at that inside the painting or whatever. And he's like, oh, what? So that's very cool. Yes, absolutely. And even more so on this side, I think, Howard. So on the opposite side to the boat and women. Yeah, much more. Hey, Catherine, lovely to see you. Oh, and you can see it too. Very good. Yes, well, just, go when you need to, darling. Go when you need to, because when you're tired, rest is the most important. Absolutely. Yeah, it does. It does, doesn't it? Looks like a slice of pizza. What's on that pizza? Just cheese and tomato, and some people in a boat. Beautiful. All right, my lovelies. Oh, excuse me. Not long had lunch, and it's repeating on me. Well, this is what they call a very hard word to get your mouth around. Prostonite. Say it so many times and then you get it right. And it is lovely. It's really, really, really smooth. So it's almost like even though it's a slab of it, so it's raw, but it's almost, because it's so smooth, it's almost like a marble top, sort of, actually. The feeling is like that. It's like a marble top. It's quite fascinating. Yes, yeah, it's really, really smooth. And as you can see, Catherine, it's really, really narrow. So it's just, you can see all its roughness down this side. You can see that there. It's quite rough on the sides, but it is just so smooth. And when I started looking it up, none of the books had anything about it. No one had anything about it. I'm like, oh my goodness. I even asked Google and Google said, what? So eventually I found out about it. It was not easy. It was not easy. Because prostonite is actually a beautiful Australian jasper. That's what it is. And it took me ages to get that and to work that out. Because the company I got it on, I looked at their website, they didn't say anything about it. I was like, oh no. But yeah, it is. I did Google Lens, and that's what it came out with. And then I looked into it more, and I found out that is exactly what it is. Hello, my beautiful friend, Janendra. I hope I say your name right. I hope I do. I'm always saying it. Whether I'm saying it right, I'm not sure. That's all right. That's all right. Noan, I like that. Yes, so this is a slab of jasper, Australian jasper. And this particular type of jasper was named after the township of Proston in Queensland. Do we have any Australians here yet? Do we have any Australians here yet? I don't think we do we? No Australians yet. But yes, it's from the township of Proston, and it's in Queensland. I should actually ask my daughter. She lives in Queensland. And that's where this most remarkable wee specimen is found. And if you look at it, like at first glance, Howard said it looks like a pizza. It feels like a marble top. And when you look at it, you probably think, well, that's not a gemstone. But it is a gemstone, but it's more like a beautiful landscape that's held within the stone. You know, all those beautiful things going on both sides of the crystal. It's fabulous. The beautiful soft creams in it that sort of drift into the ochres, that warm terracotta that sort of melts into the deeper, more burgundy shades. The beautiful flowing patterns, you know, like Howard said, he saw the roots and tendrils in intertwining beneath the earth. And then on this side, yeah, it was this side that's facing you that I can see the boat and the women or people with a candle between them. So there's so much going on. There is winding sort of rivers in it. I think you could see like weathered cliffs in it as well. You could look at it as, especially on this side, it's more sunlighty. You could look at it as a beautiful sunlit earth of the Australian outback. And if you know anything about Australia and the outback, it's all this colour. It really is. And every single piece of this you'll find will be very unique. It won't have the same tendrils as such, won't have the same rivers in it. It will be very, very different and unique. But they'll all carry a landscape. They'll all carry a landscape. And that's only in here. It's only in this particular piece is my landscape in here. It won't be in any other prostonite at all. It'll be totally different to this. And unlike all the like transparent crystals, like those sorts of ones, or even this one's even more transparent. If I can get it without throwing them all out. See, that's so much more transparent. So even like those transparent crystals, that they draw our gaze inward through the light that comes in them and all that sort of thing. But the prostonite, it just wants you to appreciate the beauty of everything that you can see on it. Just sit with it and look at it, see all the beautiful things you can see in it. It's solid. It is definitely solid. It's very, I find it very reassuring, and I'm confident. It makes me reassured too and confident when I am holding it. There's no sort of dazzling sparkle in it that is, competing for attention for any other part of the crystal. It carries that beautiful presence of something ancient, and it just reminds us that the deepest beauty is often found in those things that have been patiently shaped by time. Absolutely. And as a member of the beautiful jasper family, prostonite belongs to one of the world's oldest and most enduring groups of what they call ornamental stones. Jasper has long been associated. Is that music loud? Seems loud to me. Jasper's long been associated with strength, stability, protection, but prostonite expresses these qualities with a much softer sort of character. So it doesn't do its encouraging when you hold it and work with it through by telling you, you're just going to push through this, push harder, it doesn't do that. It doesn't tell you to strive for more. It just is reminding us that we can trust all that beauty that's going on and unfolding in our lives. It's fabulous. And like the Australian outback and its landscape, from where this comes, it teaches us that endurance is not forceful. It's patient, it's resilient, and it's unwavering. And you find that and you feel it. I feel it in here. It's beautiful. And holding prostonite, it just invokes a feeling of familiarity. I struggle getting my mouth around some words. It's like it's reconnecting me with something ancient inside me. It encourages me to slow down and breathe, to settle into the present moment, and just to remember that growth, really happens all at once. Instead, life shapes us so beautifully, one experience at a time, until we become our own living landscape just like this. It's beautiful. Now, the story of Prostonite, it begins in the ancient landscapes of Queensland, Australia. And as I said, it's named after the rural town of Proston. And this beautiful jasper, it reflects the colours and character of the Australian earth itself. There is rich ironstone soils in the outback. There is weathered stone formations in the outback, very mineral-rich sediments, and all that has contributed to this beautiful warm palette that makes this stone, I'd like to say instantly recognizable, but yes, I could recognize it as Prostonite, but I couldn't recognize it as jasper until I did the research. And but hey, that's what it's all about, learning, isn't it? Australia is home to some of the oldest exposed rocks on Earth for hundreds of millions of years. Its landscapes have been sculpted by rivers and changing climates and volcanic activity. Much the same as here, but to a greater extent over there. And the very slow movement of the continents too, like us. We're on big moving plates as well. And during those immense spans of geological time, the mineral-rich silica gradually fills up cavities and fractures within the ancient rock, and then iron oxides and other trace minerals become trapped within that silica, and that produces the magnificent reds and golds and creams that and the browns that characterize Prostonite today. And Prostonite, yes, is a relatively modern trade name. The jasper family, however, has been treasured by humanity for thousands of years. Ancient Egypt, the Egyptians, they carved jasper into protective amulets. They believed that would strengthen both their body and their spirit, and definitely during life's many transitions as well. Greek and Roman cultures, they associated jasper with courage, wise judgment, and they often carried it as a companion during difficult journeys. And across many cultures, earth-coloured jaspers have symbolised a deep connection to the natural world, and this is what this one is, that earth-inspired. And that, when you have one like this, which is earth-inspired, it just reminds us that stability comes from remaining grounded. It's those beautiful tendrils that Howard said, intertwining beneath the earth. And that's what we can do too. And even when different circumstances change, just stay grounded. Prostonite, it continues this ancient tradition, but it has its own unique Australian expression. And so looking into its beautiful patterns is like gazing from above at a amazingly vast landscape where rivers carve through ochre earth, cliffs, they glow beneath the setting sun, and then there's valleys that stretch for miles and miles out to distant horizons. And every slice, they always come in slices, prostonite. Every slice becomes a reminder that nature's greatest masterpieces, they're not created in moments, but they are created through countless years of patient transformation. Crystals have been created by nature constantly and for thousands of years, and so has this. It's beautiful. Mineralogically, Prostonite is a variety of jasper, as I said, making it part of the Chalcedony family. And then the Chalcedony family belongs to the larger quartz group. But these don't grow as large crystal points, and jasper forms as sort of countless sort of microscopic quartz crystals that are packed really tightly together, and that creates a really dense, opaque stone that is very durable and very capable of taking up a beautiful polish as well. And even with this, you could use, it's very, very strong. You could use a jeweler's polishing tool to round the edges if you wanted to, or to chip a bit off. I don't like to say that, but to make put it into a necklace or something like that. But no, keep it whole, keep it whole. The warm colors in this beautiful stone, they come primarily from iron-rich minerals, which are incorporated during its formation. And then the reds, the ochres, the creams, the browns, they're not painted onto the stone, although they could look like they could. It does look like they are, but they are the absolute geological record of changing mineral conditions over millions of years. So every line, every swirl, every band, that tells part of the story of the landscape in which it was formed. It's beautiful. Hey, AJ, lovely to see you. I wondered if you were coming. Like most jaspers, prostonite has a hardness scale of 6.5 to 7. That makes it relatively durable. Definitely durable enough for carrying around with you. This one, you'd want maybe a smaller one if you wanted to carry it around with you. Hello, Angela. So lovely to see you. Angela rang me yesterday, and she didn't mean to, but we had a lovely chat. It was meant to be. It was perfect. It is like a pink pyramid. It is. It is. Every line, every swirl is part of its story. It really is. And it's because it's durable. Yes, you can carry it around. Fabulous for displaying. It loves to be on show. And use it in meditation, absolutely. I actually like this when I'm using this one for meditation. I often will hold it like that in prayer hands, or I will sit on it. Yes, because it's a beautiful grounding stone. So sit on it or put it at your feet, either or. I get mine from all over New Zealand. We have a lovely selection of crystal stores here in New Zealand. So I get all of mine from, and I always make sure they are ethical and sourced ethically, so that they're not creating problems and overmining them. So yeah. It is, as I said, it is robust. But like everything, even the robust ones, they do like a bit of care too, to preserve its beautiful polished surface. So protect it from other sharp crystals, like you know, raw ones that have lots of sharp edges. Because it's so smooth and so beautiful, you don't want sharp objects to get into it. And most crystals, you need to be careful with your rings too. But this one's not too bad. This one's not too bad. There are countless lovely hearts. There are countless microscopic crystals that work together to create one strong, unified stone. None of them stand apart. None of them compete for attention, and each of them contributes to the beauty and the stability of the whole. And so, this is Prostonite really reflects that beautiful teaching. It's our strength often comes not from one amazing, extraordinary quality, but from the harmony of all the experiences that have shaped us. And it's rather lovely. If I were to describe Prostonite in one sentence, I would say that it's the feeling of standing on ancient earth after the rain has passed, when everything is quiet and the land is simply breathing. Can you just imagine that? Just sitting in the Australian outback. It's just rained. You're holding this beautiful crystal, and the earth is breathing. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I'll just go off on that. Some crystals do arrive like lightning too, though, not just to calm like that. They awaken, they challenge, they transform very quickly, but Prostonite doesn't do that. It's not that kind of stone. It is the crystal that sits beside you while your life is rearranging itself. It is a companion. It's the companion of all seasons, rather than moments, and it just helps you trust that every important change not every important change needs to happen all at once, and it moves in seasons. Definitely, its energy is very grounding, very nurturing, actually. Which I wouldn't say a lot about a crystal, about nurturing, but it is very nurturing, and very resilient. It gives you that very resilience about it. Hey Jen, lovely to see you. It's like there's a beautiful steadiness to it, that is really comforting during times of uncertainty. When life feels noisy, when it feels fragmented, when you feel overwhelmed, this is a beautiful crystal to encourage our nervous system to relax and to soften. It reminds us that we don't have to solve everything today. We only need the next true step, the next breath, and the next, and the next breath, and just remain connected to what is real. This one, AJ, I was saying at the beginning, this one is found in the Australian outback, and over time the cracks and that in the rocks in the Australian outback have had silica and all sorts of other things minerals that have formed around, and this is how it's come out. So all those mineral rich things have formed into that crack in the rock, and it's created a beautiful crystal, which is Mother Earth doing her thing. It's beautiful. One of the qualities that I really love about this is it sits with me. It's a companion to me. It doesn't want me to be different. So often we want to be someone different. Please, can I be someone different? But no, it doesn't ask you to do that. It just helps us with a self-improvement, and it just helps us to. It talks to me. Crystals talk to me all the time, and this one really whispers, beautiful little whispers to me, and it wants me to come more deeply into myself. So it's a crystal that encourages authenticity. It helps us release the pressure to perform, to compare or prove our worth. And like the Australian outback, that beautiful landscape that shaped this amazing crystal, it teaches us that beauty can be weathered, it can be imperfect, and wonderfully natural, which is a delight, isn't it? Absolute delight. Emotionally, it can be a beautiful stone for people who have been carrying a lot of responsibility for others. Its energy has a very maternal, earth-centered quality. When you pick it up, you just breathe, and your body wants to rest. And it supports you during that rest, and it helps you receive during that rest. It helps create a feeling of being safe and inner safety, which is a foundation from which genuine healing begins, which is wonderful. Oh, thank you, AJ. Thank you for the crystals that were in the course. Yeah, for those crystals. Yes, I probably could. Hey, Carrie, darling. Yeah, I do load the ones for this live. This is last week's one. I haven't done this week's one yet. Took me forever to do that one. Just didn't want to be recorded, this one. But yeah, I can do that. Absolutely. I will have to look at the course. I can't even remember what crystals I used, but I can do that. No problem at all. Spiritually, I think Prostonite feels connected to ancestral time and the wisdom of the land. It is so connected to the earth. It wants us to think beyond our immediate circumstances and just remember that we are part of a large story. And the stone carries that beautiful patience of geological time. And, that tells us too, and if we look at it and bring that to ourselves, that our soul also unfolds in cycles. There are seasons of growth, seasons of rest, seasons of letting go, and seasons of beginning again. None of them are failures, and all of them belong. And this beautiful crystal is testament to that. Working with this, yes, absolutely, Carrie. Hello, CG. Wonderful to see you. Beautiful teacher, beautiful soul. Feel very connected to CG. We can cultivate a beautiful sense of that inner earth. You know, it's grounded intuition, it's confidence, it's the kind of strength that others will feel when they're in your presence. If you work with this crystal lots, people will feel that. It's that strength of someone who has learned to stand firmly upon their own inner earth as well. Not necessarily Mother Earth, but our own inner earth too. We are definitely magical beings, and we're all very unique magical beings too. And like this, you will never find another one that looks like mine. So it's very unique too. Prostonite's primary energetic connection is with the root chakra, and which is hardly surprising if you know anything about the chakras and all I've said so far. It's the energy center that is at the base of our spine. It's our foundation. It governs our sense of safety, our belonging, our stability, our physical presence, and just our relationship too with the material world as well. And so when this chakra is balanced, we tend to feel very grounded, very secure, and just capable of going out and dealing with life. When it comes imbalanced and depleted, you could experience anxiety, restlessness, disconnection from your body as well. I don't know if any of you have felt that at some times. It's an interesting feeling. You will have financial worry as well, possibly. You will definitely won't like change, and you will have a persistent feeling of not quite belonging as well. The ones in the course, you can put comments in the ones in the course. I can't remember how though. I think at the end it says something. Oh no, in the tracks. You can when you rate it, you can a little box comes up so that you can write something in there as well. And that really helps us too. Just clicking the 5 stars, it's really good. But even if you put some emojis in the little box at the top, I think it's at the top, then it is so much better from us. Thank you, AJ. Yeah, I remember one teacher when I first started being a teacher was saying that if you don't want to put 5 stars, don't do anything. I loved that. I thought that was really good. The colors of prostonite, they reveal its connection. It's below the stars. Okay, I can't remember. I did one yesterday and I can't remember. Silly, eh? Just an aside, going back to the chakras, with your root chakra, if it is strong and stable, then the sacral will go on top, the next one will go straight on top, and the next one will go straight on top. If that one is stable. Then if this one goes on top and it is imbalanced, then it comes out like this and it creates an instability. And then the next one will go up and create an instability. So you'll have very crooked chakras. So you have to have this one really solid to create a solid chakra center. And so definitely make sure if you're feeling out in other areas of your chakras, look at your root chakra first and see if it's stable. So yeah, that little teaching. Uh, the colors of prostonite are beautiful, and they reveal that connection to the root chakra. It's my pleasure, Carrie. Yeah, it's something I learned when I was learning Ayurveda. And I mean, I've known about the chakras for years, but I didn't really appreciate that if that one's not stable, it'll put everything else out. So, and anything that's not stable further up will put the further out ones out as well. So yeah, but definitely if you feel like that, that something else is unstable, go right back down to the root to make sure it isn't. It is stable. Sorry, you want it stable. These beautiful rich reds, terracotta tones, the ochre yellows, they're just the earth, aren't they? They're clay, they're iron-rich soil and ancient stone, and they're all symbols that connect with the or associated with the root chakra. But its connections go deeper than colour alone, though. And all crystals, all their connections go deeper than their colour. But with this one, the very way that prostonite was formed over immense periods of geological time reflects those qualities that the root chakra wants to cultivate within us, you know, the patience, the endurance, and that trust in natural processes. Ah, cool, AJ. Yeah, and it's wonderful. They're a wonderful tool. You know, they don't replace medical or anything like that, but they are beautiful companions in our lives for the various seasons we go through. And I have a plethora of crystals, and so I can just grab whatever I want. Even if I just sit beside my cup of tea in the morning, I get that energy from that crystal for the day, which is wonderful. Yes, they do, AJ. I love how you wrote that. They do, absolutely. It's prostonite is really helpful during periods of transition and like moving house. Absolutely. If you're moving house, grab one of these because it is fabulous accompaniment to moving house. And I know Jen tried to get one of these, didn't you? And they're not easy because they come from Australia. So it was easy for me to get one. I got it from my New Zealand supplier, but I don't think she could find one. Or the shipping, I think, is the issue with getting one of these into America, definitely. Yeah. You'd probably find one in Australia because it is an Australian crystal. But shipping would be, yeah, absolutely not good. So it's very good if you're changing careers too, if you're beginning a new relationship or recovering from burnout or navigating grief. And yes, go there and come here too. Prostonite just strengthens those foundations and it helps us to remain connected to ourselves even when those external circumstances are changing. What would a crystal for the root chakra or how to balance the root chakra on your bucket list? Great. Hello, Karma, darling. Lovely to see you. Yes, it is a raw crystal. You can see by the outside, but the top of it is just beautifully smooth. It's like a marble sort of top. It's beautiful. Yes, so crystal and balance. If you want to, you could use Red jasper, I think, which you can get easier than this. Use a red jasper. That's the one I like the best for balancing the root chakra. You can do a simple thing of lying on the ground with the crystal at the base of your spine, and you can have it there, or you can have it on. You can lie on your back and have it on as close to the base of your spine on your front part, and just breathe, and then that can really, really help. There are lots of, and I think I've got one too, there are lots of chakra meditations that you can do. The thing I do every morning when I get up is I have a quartz crystal, and sometimes I use my Super 7 crystal, and all I do is I just stand there, I stop and I breathe, and then I just let my hands come up and down and just concentrate on balancing my chakras. And then I bring them up my body and then up to the crown and out. And you can, if you want to concentrate on your root chakra while you're doing this, you can chant hum, H-A-M, hum. And that will just, when you're doing this, it will be helping to balance the middle ones, but chanting the hum will work directly with the root chakra. You can hold the red jasper in your hand and do the same thing, and just breathe and imagine even if you haven't got a red jasper, any red crystal will be fine. But imagine, even if you can't get a red crystal, imagine a red swirling light in that area as well. And that's all beautiful ways to, and then physical ways, just go out on the earth, walk barefoot on the grass, or on the earth, or at the beach. Anything that connects you to the earth will help with your root chakra. Go and meditate sitting on the earth, or do a walking meditation with bare feet. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. Exactly. I have the Super 7 in my pillowcase. I have it in my pillowcase so it doesn't get lost, and it is beautiful. That keeps me balanced all through the night too, and I wake up feeling so much better, and only have to do maybe a couple of rounds of this just to keep me balanced for the day. So yeah, that's good. Thank you, Carrie. Yeah, exactly, Karma. Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Prostonite. Now we've had the chakra lesson. Prostonite really helps you come back into your body, and so much of modern life pulls us upward into our mind and outward, and Prostonite helps you come back into your body. And you know, we have to plan lots, we don't have to, but we do worry lots, we analyze, we're endlessly thinking. How long can you go in breaths before you, how long can you clear your mind of nothing? How many breaths can you do that for? That's the challenge. And it's fascinating. If you can get up to 10, 15, 20, you are amazing. You are amazing. Most days I'm lucky if I can do 5. But hey, to have my whole mind clear of no thoughts, and for 5 breaths is, I think, is pretty good. Yes, too much thinking. Too much thinking. So yes, Prostonite gets that inward, and then that awareness of downward, into the feet, down the legs, the breath, and just looking at how beautiful it is to be alive on this planet. And it helps you with that. It encourages very grounded spirituality that just honors both the sacred and the practical. It reminds us that enlightenment is not only found in the stars, but also in washing dishes and tending gardens and making tea and just caring for our everyday lives with gratitude and with love. When you hold it during meditation, yes, that tricky mind, always analyzing. Place it, as I said, beside you, sit on it in prayer hands, but you can also, as I think I also said, place it beneath your feet. Put your feet on it. And during any breath work, any meditation, but otherwise just sit it beside you, that's fine. Prostonite becomes a really, really good anchor, and it teaches the root chakra that stability is not something we have to earn. It's available to us, and these little tools just really help draw that out. We have to trust ourselves. We have to remember to breathe. How many of you actually consciously remember to breathe? And that if you remember to breathe, your breath will naturally slow down. And then you can then, with your breath, you can slow down, you can start seeing things differently, and you can then trust that amazing ground that is beneath us in our lives. In many ways, Prostonite doesn't merely connect us to the root chakra. It reminds us that we are already grounded. And just like the ancient Australian earth has been rooted through every season, every storm, every sunrise, for millions of years. And it taught this that. I like to think that Prostonite, and every crystal really, but Prostonite is a crystal that is meant to be lived with. Don't just sit there and admire it. Some crystals are too soft to be lived with in that sense, but Prostonite wants to be used, wants to be part of your life. It just doesn't want to sit there and you go, oh, you're pretty. Some stones feel ceremonial, and they will appear only when you're doing a ritual or when you're doing a meditation session. But Prostonite, it belongs in that natural rhythm of your everyday life. It's the crystal that I would keep here on my desk, or out where I do writing, or definitely beside my cup of tea in the morning. It is fabulous actually to have it near your front door as well, and that is a reminder to return home to yourself, but definitely in your pocket as well when life is feeling a little bit demanding. Definitely put it in your pocket, and again, you want something a little bit smaller than that to pop in your pocket. The greatest gift, it's not dramatic transformation, it's just companionship. It really loves companionship. And when you spend time, if you can ever spend time with it, if you come across it, get one, because when you spend time with it regularly, we begin to absorb its pace, its groundedness, its lack of urgency to be doing things. and we can become less reactive. We can become more patient and just a little more trusting of how our life is unfolding. It definitely encourages us to make decisions from a grounded place rather than urgency. And that's why I see it as a wonderful, wonderful stone for people who are rebuilding after burnout, and starting a new chapter in their life, or or just simply longing to feel more settled within themselves too. Sometimes we're not comfortable with ourselves, and we seek outside worthiness, and it's we need to be comfortable with ourselves. In meditation, Prostonite, it wants us to just imagine ourselves as part of the landscape. We're not separate from the earth beneath us. We are an expression of it. So if you're sitting with the stone in your hands, you may find yourself just slowing your breath down, breathing more deeply, feeling your feet more clearly. How do you know your feet are there? Do you feel them? These simple little things, just feel more clearly. But it wants us to become aware of the support that exists beneath every moment we take in the day. There is always support there. And it is definitely a crystal for breath work. It is wonderful to have around you when you're doing breath work. Like most crystals, journaling, writing, anything like that. This one loves going out in the garden. Take it out when you're gardening, take it out when you're walking in nature. It loves that. Or any type of practice that helps to reconnect with the body and the present moment. And I love, me in rituals, I love pairing it with simple rituals, just like my tea. That's my simple ritual every morning. And I, hold it while you're preparing your tea. And do a candle meditation and sit and hold it while you're doing your candle meditation. I think I have a candle meditation up there. I think mine is, that's a candle meditation. If you want to do a candle meditation, it is Prostonite. That's it, isn't it? Prost. Yeah. That's it, Karma. My pleasure. If you're buying a new home, have it with you when you're asking those questions about whether this is the right home, whether this is going to work. Have it with you. It's really, really good. And definitely, if you're a sensitive person, this beautiful one does not overwhelm you. Some crystals will, but this one doesn't. It creates a beautiful, calm, nurturing, like holding it. As I said right at the beginning, I feel very nurtured by it. It has a very nurturing field about it. And it's just lovely. The archetype that goes with Prostonite, which I thought went with it, is obviously the Earthkeeper. Archetypes are you've probably all heard this before now, is a universal pattern of energy or behavior. And they have been found across many cultures and myths and human experience. It's like a character that already exists within us. So it is That's what an archetype is. They're not labels. They're living qualities that we can develop and embody throughout our lives. So Earth Keeper for the Prostonite is beautiful because it's Earth. It's encapsulate Earth. True strength is expressed through care rather than control. And, you know, we build foundations. The Earth Keeper builds foundations. They protect what is valuable and create spaces where others can feel safe enough to grow. The Earth Keeper is patient, it's dependable, and it's deeply connected to those natural cycles of life. And Prostonite awakens this archetype by reminding us that we're not merely passing through this world, we are participating in it. Oh, excuse me. Every conversation, every garden planted, every meal prepared, every act of kindness, and every single moment of presence becomes part of the landscape we are helping to create. The Earth Keeper, it doesn't like recognition. It just likes to work behind the scenes. And the Earth Keeper finds meaning in devotion, independent devotion and consistent care. And when we embody that Earth Keeper, and when we do it through Prostonite, we start to ask different questions. You know, instead of sitting looking at something and go, what? How quickly can I achieve this? You can stop and just go, well, you know, what sort of foundation am I creating with this? Or how do I prove myself? Rather, you should be asking, how do I nurture those things that truly matter? And the Earth Keeper understands that, and understands that the most important work is often invisible. It's the work of becoming stable and compassionate and trustworthy, patient presence, you know, in our lives and in the lives of others as well. It's a wonderful archetype. It is very powerful for those who feel called to hold space for others as well, whether that's as parents or teachers or healers or friends or caregivers or community builders. Prostonite just reminds you that that we can only offer that genuine stability when we are stable, when we remain grounded and rooted ourselves. And it's just like ancient trees. You know, they offer shade. They offer shade because its roots run deep. And we become a source of peace for others when we cultivate peace within ourselves. So, Prostonite. Prostonite is durable. It's a durable jasper. It's very easy to care for. You can cleanse it with water. It doesn't mind water. It doesn't like to be soaked in water, but it doesn't mind having a little wash under the water. Smoke, sound, moonlight, all those things it will happily take to cleanse it. But I think the one I like most for this particular crystal, not necessarily for any of the other grounding crystals that I've worked with, but for this particular one, I like to place it on the grass outside. And it doesn't have to be long, just for a short time. It just allows it to reconnect to that element from where it came from. Don't use harsh chemicals. Don't leave it. You can put it out on the grass when it's sunny, yes, but don't leave it in the sunlight, strong sunlight, for too long, because its colors will fade. Its beautiful, beautiful colors will fade. Just just treat it as you treat a trusted friend. All crystals like that. Treat them like you would treat a trusted friend, and crystals respond to that beautifully, and they love all your crystals. Like if you have a lot of crystals like I do, they love regular companionship. So you don't have to use all of them all at once, but rotate them, because all of them love to spend time with you. And prostonite's the same. Hold it often, carry it gently, and just let it become familiar with you. And the Australian landscape that created this stone was shaped over millions of years by wind, water, heat, and time. And it took time to create this beautiful thing. And it just allowed itself to be formed. And we can do that. Just allow ourselves to be formed. Trust those slow seasons. It's hard, but trust them. Honor the foundations you are building. And remember that resilience is not necessarily a strong characteristic. It can be gentle as well. And prostonite, hold prostonite, and every time you hold it, let it just know that you belong. It will tell you that you belong to an amazing living landscape of life. Absolutely. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So that is prostonite. How are we going? Have some water. I think I need some water. My pleasure, Janendra. Right, I bought my little... Oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, darling. Bless you. I bought my little wee bottle in, and it is... It's... Yeah, you can smell that. It's like a cinnamon camphor, sort of. It's quite a lovely... It's a lovely grounding oil. Beautiful. It's called Ravintsara. Ravintsara. Do you want me to type that there too? Just so you can see it. Ravintsara. Yes, and that's probably Maribel, because it is an Australian crystal. But it comes from the jasper family. So you would have heard of jasper. Ravintsara is one of those extraordinary botanicals that becomes a trusted companion, just like the crystal. And it's not a dramatic showpiece either, like the crystal. It's distilled from, it's glossy, it has beautiful glossy green leaves. It's a tree. And the tree is Cinnamomum Camphora Ceti Cineol. There we go. That's the science lesson. And it has a remarkable balance between clarity and gentleness. That's what it's essentially is. Yes, yeah. That's the only one I could find in Australia too. And you have to be careful, because I'm not sure, I didn't look into it, I'm not sure if it's the same, because prostonite is how I've spelt it, how this one is, but I did see, I think it was in the Liberatory slab supplies, I think they had a Prostonite, P-O-U, so you would have to look and see if it is the same thing, just they've named it somewhere else. But the prostonite comes from a rural town called Proston. That's why it's Prostonite in Queensland. So, yeah. Some essential oils just announce themselves. They're very bold. As soon as they enter a room, you can smell them. But this one is like a beautiful, cool breeze through an open window. It refreshes the atmosphere without overwhelming it. Oh, good. Okay, in rough pieces, yeah. Yeah, it always comes like this in a slab, yeah. But I think Jen looked at that and found that the tariffs were high on it, getting it to the US. So you would have to look into that too. It belongs to the same species as the camphor tree, but it is chemically very different from that harsh medicinal camphor oil. That if I mention camphor, that's what you'll smell, that really medicinal camphor oil. And that is used in those old-fashioned liniments and things like that. Yes, yeah. I wonder if I posted it, whether you would have any problems, rather than ordering it from a business. It'd be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? Probably could, actually. Probably could. It's yeah, so but I reckon if I posted them as a personal thing and just said they were a crystal, because I've sent crystals to other parts of the world and I'm sure there haven't been any issues. It's just the postage is high. So yeah. Night, Carrie. Sleep well, my darling. Yeah. So if you're keen, I can look into it. Let me know. The Ravintsara chemotype is very rich naturally in the what they call okay, I will look into it, a 1,8 cineol, which is eucalyptus, and that gives its fresh, clean, camphorous sort of aroma that feels sort of simultaneously invigorating but comforting. And it's often described as one of the most versatile oils in aromatherapy because it just knows how to meet us where we are, offering beautiful support during times of fatigue, definitely, and emotional heaviness and seasonal changes and seasonal challenges and spiritual stagnation. I'm just going to put some of my eucalyptus. Just said about the eucalyptus. Put some of my eucalyptus behind my ears. That's lovely. You can smell that beautifully. Oh yes, yeah. Don't you just? Yeah. Yeah, I'll have a look into that because I think if we send it as a gift type thing, then it shouldn't be a problem. I know I'm sending a crystal mala to the US soon. I'm just going to make it first. So it'll be interesting to see what process that goes through. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very light though. I think the place where I get it, they're roughly about this size. But I'll have a look. Ravintsara, it embodies strength, but not really out loud strength. It helps with transformations. It doesn't clear the path. It just helps them naturally evolve. And when we use it, it teaches us sort of about healing. Is when we're healing, we want to add things to try and make the healing quicker or faster or whatever. But this is about not adding something new, but it's more about removing those things that have become stagnant and cluttered or unnecessary. When I think of this, when I smell this beautiful oil, I think of dawn in a forest, again after rain, because the air feels washed clean, the leaves are glistening, and the world is just quiet because it's beginning again. It's starting a new day. That's what I like it. That's what I think of it. Its story is actually one of migration and adaptation. I did further up Shara. I will put it in again because you probably can't see it. Ravintsara. That's the essential oil. And the crystal we talked about, no, that's all right. The crystal we talked about was, that was the crystal. So yes, it's a story of migration, of adaptation and rediscovery. The tree itself originated in Asia, particularly in China, but in Taiwan and Japan as well, where the camphor trees there have been valued for centuries for their aromatic wood. This comes from the leaves, but they've been used for their wood more than anything, and medicinal properties. And then during the 19th century, camphor trees were introduced to Madagascar, and it was there that changed things. Something happened. The trees, they adapted to the island's very unique climate and its soil conditions, and it started to gradually develop a different chemical profile from the Asian relatives. And the leaves began producing an essential oil that dominated by cineol rather than camphor. And the people of Madagascar then came to know this beautiful new aromatic ally as Ravintsara. And it's beautiful, even though I can't say it properly. It's a beautiful name. It really is. In Madagascar, in their language, it's broken down to Ravina, which means leaf, and then Sara, so the T is silent, Sara means good or beautiful. So Ravintsara is often translated as the good leaf, which is or the beautiful leaf, which is really cool. I like the beautiful leaf. Its name, it is a name that absolutely captures captures the oil's character. And in Madagascar, the Ravintsara has been regarded as a household remedy, and it is used for, that's why I have it, for respiratory health, for vitality and resilience during seasonal illnesses. It is wonderful for that too. Pairs well with eucalyptus. And one of its fascinating aspects of its history is that it's frequently confused with the Ravintsara, which is Raven, and no T, Ravintsara. And that is an aromatic tree also native to Madagascar. And their names are very similar, but despite that, they are entirely different plants with very different chemical compositions as well. So Ravintsara is a cinnamomum camphora, Camphora seniole, and the other one, the Ravin without the spelt slightly differently, is a Ravintsara aromatica. It's not part of the camphor family, and that distinction is important because this one, the Ravintsara Ravintsara, is generally considered gentler and much more respiratory focused and very emotionally uplifting of the two different oils. In modern aromatherapy, it's become one of the great oils of renewal and resilience. Practitioners often turn to it during times when the body is feeling depleted, when the mind's foggy, or the spirit just feels disconnected from its natural vitality. And it carries the story of a tree that has adapted to a new land and discovered a beautiful new expression of itself. And it is a wonderful reminder that we can do that. We can grow through change rather than just enduring life. We can grow through change. It belongs to the Lauraceae family, and that is the same botanical family as cinnamon, bay laurel, and the other one, Ravintsara, and so they're of the same family. And this family is absolutely renowned for producing those aromatic trees and shrubs that are rich in essential oils. And many have been used, like the bay laurel and the cinnamon. They've been used for culinary, medicinal, and spiritual purposes all throughout history. And knowing that this one, the Ravintsara, is related to cinnamon and bay leaf, it helps us understand it's something really important about its character. So beneath its beautiful, fresh, airy aroma, I wish you could smell it, lies a deeply grounded botanical intelligence that is connected with protection, purification, and vitality. It's a really, really versatile essential oil. And within the world of the Cinnamonium camphora, there are several different chemotypes that exist, and which means that the same species can produce dramatically different essential oils, and that is dependent on their climate, on the soil that they're grown in, and their genetics as well. And this Ravintsara chemotype is specifically seniole rich. That gives it its fresh eucalyptus-like clarity, and we had eucalyptus last week, so it's in that same sort of, it has that not as strong a smell, but it has that same clarity to it, and makes it again very valuable for respiratory and immune support. And this is very different from, as I said, that camphor chemotype that contains higher levels of camphor, and it's much sharper, more penetrating aroma. And this is much softer, much more delicate sort of in its fragrance. I like to think of this oil as having several sort of personalities that just reveal themselves depending on what we need. So one personality I think is, I would call the forest healer. It is quiet, it's nurturing, it's deeply restorative. It encourages our body to rest and recover. The other one I'd call it would be the clear messenger. So it helps to sweep away mental fog, confusion, emotional heaviness, so that we can think and speak with greater clarity. The third I would call it is the dawn walker, and it carries the energy of fresh beginnings, and just reminds us that every day offers an opportunity to begin again. No matter what yesterday held, forget about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Just live in today. It's scent. It is beautifully layered. It really is. So that if you smelt it for the first time, your first impression is bright and clean with a cool sort of camphorous freshness. And that's very similar to eucalyptus, but noticeably softer and more rounded. And then as it settles, you get a subtle sort of woody and slightly sort of spicy undertones. They start to emerge. Excuse me. Along with a beautiful slight sweetness, and that keeps this aroma from feeling medicinal. There is this beautiful, spacious sort of quality to its fragrance. It's as though it creates room within the breath itself almost, and just inhaling it, simply inhaling it. I'm going to do it again. Clear my nose. Don't know why my nose gets blocked in this live. It naturally encourages you to breathe deeper. Definitely clears the thinking, and it just has a beautiful feeling of emotional lightness. It is extracted through steam distillation of the leaves, so they only use the leaves for this oil. So freshly harvested leaves are placed into a distillation chamber, and then steam passes through all that plant material, and then that releases the volatile aromatic compounds, and then the steam and oil vapor are then cooled and condensed, and then that allows the essential oil to separate naturally from the water. And this process is used by a lot of oil makers. It's preserves that delicate seniol rich chemistry that gives this oil its remarkable therapeutic qualities. It's a beautiful example of how something simple as water and heat and time can reveal the hidden essence of a plant. It's fabulous. If I was going to describe this oil in one sentence, it's energy. I think it would be that feeling of standing at the edge of a forest at sunrise and just taking that first truly deep breath. And maybe it's the first one you've taken in weeks. And that's its energy. It also carries the energy of renewal, clarity, and very resilient life force energy. Some oils, they'll wrap a what did I say? Oh, the excuse me, it's energy, what I would say. Yeah. Oh, goodness me. Um, where was I? Yeah, some oils just wrap you up like a blanket, and others they really awaken you. But this one actually does both. It's very comforting, but it doesn't awaken you. It has that remarkable ability to comfort without sedating you, and to invigorate without overstimulating you. And it feels like a botanical that knows beautifully how to restore our natural rhythm, especially when we're becoming disconnected from it. It is definitely an oil of resilience. It supports us during times of exhaustion, overwhelm, grief. Wonderful for grief. And how many of you get, sort of seasonal melancholy, where you change seasons and you're just like, um, it's great for that. And any emotional depletion, it's fabulous for that. It just when you smell it, it just helps to remember that vitality is still underneath all that heaviness that we carry. Um, it's particularly beautiful for anyone who has been giving a great deal of yourself to others, and you've forgotten how to receive support in return. It's beautiful for that. A lot of us do love to give, but we are not good at receiving, and it just helps with that balance. It's an oil that clears pathways. It sweeps away stagnant energy, any old emotional residue, mental fog. It just creates space for intuition, for inspiration, and inner truth to emerge. I often think of it as an oil of sacred breath, and that's what I got it for. I needed to breathe. Physically needed to breathe, and it just reminds us that every conscious inhale is a new beginning. Every exhale is an opportunity to release those things that don't belong to you. Beautiful, AJ. Yes, what a beautiful time to relax. You got to listen to your body, and that's what AJ did. Listen to the body and relaxed. Love that. Unlike sort of other oils that are very, they create very dramatic, mystical experiences. This one, its spirituality is wonderfully embodied. It teaches us that clarity is sacred, that health is sacred, that breathing deeply is sacred, and returning to ourselves is one of the holiest journeys we can take. It's beautiful. Take that journey. It's connected to the throat chakra. Its energy is connected to the throat chakra. And that's the energy center of communication, of truth, of authentic expression, and the flow of breath through our body too. And that's a beautiful symbolic connection, because this oil works through our respiratory system. So it's opening the breath and it's creating spaciousness in the airways. And so energetically, the throat chakra is that place where inner truth becomes outer expression. And when this chakra is balanced, we tend to speak honestly, and we listen deeply, and we feel that our voice has a rightful place in this world too. But when it's blocked, we can feel, unable to express ourselves. and afraid of being misunderstood or trapped, beneath unspoken emotions. It's fabulous for that. It helps us create space, and that's both physically in our physical breath, but energetically in our expression as well. It encourages us to speak from clarity rather than reaction, from presence rather than fear. It is beautiful for journaling, for teaching. I love it when I'm recording meditations because it helps me breathe and slow down. It's wonderful if you have a difficult conversation coming up. It's fabulous for that. Or just any little moment. These essential oils don't need anything specific to be of help, but any moment when you want your words to carry calm rather than chaos. Beautiful for that. In relation with the throat chakra, it reflects its quality as purification. It helps clear the breath physically, but it symbolically helps clear the stories, doubt and emotional residue and those things that can accumulate around our voice. And it just reminds us that our truth doesn't need to be loud to be powerful. You can just drop a little whisper and walk away, and that can be the most powerful thing you do. And like the forest breeze, it can be beautiful and gentle and still transform the atmosphere around it, which is wonderful. It's very, very versatile essential oil. And it's one of the easiest ones actually to intertwine into your life, and to weave into your life, into your everyday life, because its gifts are both practical and deeply symbolic. So think of it as an oil for morning rituals and transitions and times of renewal. So in a diffuser, it creates an atmosphere that feels fresh and clean and uplifting. It's wonderful during winter while you're working, studying, creating, or just whenever you want to feel uplifted in a room. Especially in a room that, rooms can feel stagnant sometimes. And so especially in a room like that, a few drops can make a space feel as though the windows have been opened to a forest breeze. And even in winter, that feels beautiful. You don't have to physically open them. For personal use, it's beautiful diluted in a carrier oil. Apply it to your upper chest or upper back, and on your neck as well. When you're feeling fatigued, when you are changing from seasons and you have that seasonal vulnerability. It is used by many aromatherapists in respiratory support blends because of its high seniol content. But energetically, I love it for those. I love it for what it does for my respiratory problem, but I do love it for those moments when I just feel emotionally stuck, and I need to breathe my way back into life. And it is the oil for that. And as I said before, it pairs beautifully with eucalyptus, lavender, rosemary actually pairs beautifully with rosemary, frankincense, loves frankincense, and tea tree. And any citrus oils as well is fabulous for that. And, creating blends for that, not only for your physical body, but for your, inner wisdom body, blends that support clarity and resilience and general vitality. It's an absolute wonderful companion for meditation, and definitely breathing meditations as well. And it doesn't take us away from our body. It just brings us more deeply into it, like the beautiful crystal. And it just reminds us that every breath, every single breath we take is an anchor to the present moment. It really is. It really is. One simple ritual that I like to do with this oil is to just place a drop on a tissue and just hold it near your heart and take 3 slow, deep breaths. And then just ask yourself, what are you ready to release? And what are you ready to welcome in? And you can just sit there and you can breathe, holding that tissue there, and just breathe in, receive, just say receive, breathe in and release, breathing out, receive and release. It's a beautiful, simple wee meditation you can do, holding and using that aroma in the meditation. It's a beautiful oil for new beginnings, new projects, new homes like this one, definitely new seasons. It's the biggest one for new seasons, I think, and just new ways of being. It's really lovely. Its archetype, I feel, is the guardian, and the guardian is the archetype that protects, that clears, and preserves what is precious. They're not aggressive, they're not controlling, they create safety through presence, wisdom, strength. The guardian watches over thresholds as well, supports healing, maintains healthy boundaries, and just helps others too to remember their own resilience as well. And so this expresses that archetype beautifully. It protects the breath, it supports vitality, it clears what has become stagnant. It encourages us to become guardians of our own energy, of our own health and our own truth. We often are constantly rescuing others, but we need to care for ourselves. And that's our sacred responsibility, is to care for yourself. So when we work with it, we begin to embody that guardian archetype within ourselves. We become more discerning about what we allow into our lives, more protective of our peace, and much more committed to living in ways that honor our body, that honor our voice, and that honor our spirit. And this guardian teaches that beautifully, absolutely beautifully. This oil is considered definitely one of the gentler, cineol rich essential oils, but still it should be treated with respect. Always dilute it before applying it to your skin. Putting it on a tissue and inhaling is fine. Watch the eyes with any oils. Watch the eyes. Don't have any on your eye and then on your hand and then go and rub your eye. Be careful about that. Keep it out of the reach of young children, and definitely be cautious around infants, because it has very rich in that 1-8 cineol. And just seek medical advice if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, or if you have asthma. I have asthma and I'm fine with it, but we are all very unique and different beings, so you need to be careful. And epilepsy, be careful with that, or any of the other respiratory conditions as well. Store it in a cool, dark place. I always keep mine in a dark cupboard in the cooler part of the house. That just keeps them fresh, keeps their potency strong. And if there was one message about this, the thing I think it carries above all of the things that I've said is breathe. Just breathe. And maybe everything isn't easy, but breathe. Because when you're breathing, everything becomes a little bit more possible when we remember how to breathe. So it is beautiful. It is a beautiful breath of fresh air. So the two of them together. So Prostonite, this beautiful one. I'm going to have a bit of water again before I get into Prostonite and Ravintsara together. Prostonite is the ancient earth beneath our feet. And Ravintsara is that fresh morning air that's moving through the trees. And so together they just help us realize that when we are breathing more deeply than maybe yesterday, you know, and sometimes that decision to slow down, like AJ went and took a rest, just to trust ourselves again, to allow life to just unfold with a little more grace. And I love this pairing because it brings two beautiful qualities that we often forget belong together: stability and renewal. And we tend to think that in order to change, we must leave the old completely behind. But nature teaches something very different. You know, the forest doesn't abandon the earth beneath it when spring arrives. The new leaves emerge because the roots have remained strong, and Prostonite becomes these roots, and Ravintsara becomes the new leaves. And so there are seasons, you know, in life that we feel scattered, pulled in many directions, carrying too much, thinking too much, and forgetting how to rest. And Prostonite gathers us back into ourselves, and Ravintsara then sort of enters like a beautiful cool breeze and releasing and so that we can receive. They carry a beautiful rhythm together. Prostonite is, you know, you are safe, and Ravintsara says, now breathe. And if you can say that to yourself, you are safe, now breathe. That's a beautiful little mantra you can do too. One anchors, one opens, one grounds in the body, and the other creates spaciousness in the breath and the mind. And that makes them wonderful, wonderful companions during times of transition and burnout and recovery and grief. And, you know, all those times where we just need to breathe. Beautiful for that. Imagine beginning each morning holding your Prostonite in one hand and inhaling the aroma of Ravintsara. Feel the stone connecting you to the earth, to your body, to your own center, and then feel the oil just opening the breath, lifting the mind. A beautiful, simple ritual. You can do that with a lot of all the other crystals and essential oils I've done. It's a beautiful, simple ritual that becomes a conversation. And this one becomes a conversation between earth and air, between that steadiness and possibility. So if you close your eyes for a moment and just imagine standing in the Australian bush, if you can, just after dawn. The earth beneath your feet is warm from yesterday's sun, carrying that scent of iron-rich soil and weathered stone. And in your hands rests a beautiful slice of Prostonite, and it's beautiful reds and ochres and, you know, echoing that colour of the landscape around you. The air is still, and a breeze starts moving through the eucalyptus and camphor trees. And that breeze is Ravintsara. And that aroma just arrives beautifully, fresh, clean, and your thoughts will become deeper. sorry, your breath will come deeper. Your thoughts will begin to spread, spread out like mist lifting from the land. And they're beautiful. Now, I've made some blends for the two of them. The first one is a body blend, and that is beautiful after a shower. So, or before, if you do a walk in nature before you have your shower, put it on then. But wherever you're going to be, and so that you can feel grounded and refreshed. So in that one is jojoba and fractionated coconut oil, Ravintsara, lavender, and cedarwood. They marry up beautifully together. And then while things are blending, put the crystal beside it. And that one you can massage on your chest, your shoulders, the back of the neck, the soles of your feet. Put that on the soles of your feet before you go out walking. Beautiful for that. Absolutely beautiful that. And then while you're doing that, just slow your breath down. Have some beautiful conscious breaths. Not yet. I meant to do it today, but then we ended up having people turn up and all that sort of thing. So I will, depending on how much longer we go, we haven't got too much longer, I will do them today. Otherwise, I will do them in the morning for you. Yeah. It's a lovely oil. It really is. And if you, obviously a lot of you can't get this particular one. So as I said to Carrie, get a red jasper and place a red jasper beside your blends when you are when you're creating them, and then when you're finished, and just let them sit beside the blend for 12 to 24 hours they need to mature and be ready for use. And that one's beautiful. I've got a face serum as well, which is rosehip oil, jojoba, and then Ravintsara and frankincense. Oh, they marry together beautifully. And a little bit of chamomile just to be calming on your face. And that you add a few drops, 3 to 5 sort of drops, and put it on damp skin in the evening. And then just press it into your face and breathe deeply while you're pressing it into your face. Just breathe deeply. It's perfect for that. I've got another face blend, which is wonderful in the morning. It's a lighter blend. That other one is a heavier blend, which is beautiful at night. This is a lighter blend, and it's got jojoba and grapeseed oil in it. And it also has a little bit of calendula as well. As a calendula comes in a carrier oil as well. A little bit of that as well. And the only 2 things I've put in that, because I wanted Ravintsara to stand out, was geranium. Just 1 drop of geranium. I do prefer, I very rarely have plain geranium. I do prefer rose geranium. I have just put geranium here, but use rose geranium if you want, and they will marry together beautifully still. And then massage that on your face and neck after you've cleansed your face, and just breathe it in. Breathe it in. Breathe in that freshness, and it will just, beautiful. It's beautiful. I've got a face toner as well. I made the last one last week because I'd already had a toner, but I ran out, and so I made the cucumber hydrosol one, and it's very lovely. So I'll have to, when that one runs out, I'll do this one again, because they're beautiful. They're beautiful, just to mist your face with. So in this one, I've got rose hydrosol. You need distilled water, cucumber hydrosol, and which was in last week's one, just because it has that eucalyptus sort of energy as well. And then just one drop of Ravintsara. When it's a face mist like that, you don't want too many essential oils in, and you can use a solubilizer as well, and there are cosmetic solubilizers which are really suitable for facial mists. Sometimes I put brandy in it or vodka and that works too if you're putting the essential oil in, and that's the only time. If you didn't want to put the essential oil in, you can just leave the solubilizer out. Then I have a face hydrosol spray, and that is rose and lavender and distilled water. And then again, isn't that the same as what I did before? I don't know. This session really got to me. Face hydrosol, face toner. Anyway, they're both there. Then there's a room hydrosol spray, which I love. I make sleep ones, I make room ones. I've got this beautiful one. I have no idea what's in it. Citrusy, I think, and it's just beautiful. I love having those around. And so in this one I've got eucalyptus hydrosol. That one might be a hard one to find. What did I get? I couldn't get it here. Eucalyptus hydrosol, and I'll look it up and I'll put in brackets what I used when I didn't have the eucalyptus. I just can't remember what I used. Maybe it was chamomile. I'm not sure. I'll look up what I did. And then lavender, and then again the Ravintsara and the solubilizer as well. And then that one my solubilizer is brandy. I always put brandy in those ones. It just holds the essential oil together. It stops the compounds breaking down, and that's the only reason you put it in there. And then just spray that around, just like I've done with that one. Spray it in a room, spray it when you're meditating. Anytime, is beautiful for something like that. Then I've got a beautiful little mala one. This one I actually put on my skin. This is my mala one. I was like, where's mine? This is it. This is my mala one, which is a eucalyptus one, which I made from our other live. So you can put them in a little roll. This is a roller ball. So it has a little wee ball on it. And with this one, I use it on my neck and behind my ears as well. But you just roll a bit on your fingertips when you're doing your mala, and just have that sensory aromatic going while you're breathing and doing your mala. It's fabulous. And then that one is jojoba and fractionated coconut oil, and then Ravintsara, frankincense and sandalwood in that one, which is fabulous. Wonderful. What else did I do? Anything? Oh, tea. I had to do a tea, didn't I? A tea. So, I mean, you can't use the crystal or the essential oil in the tea because they're not to be ingested. Only culinary ones are ones you can ingest. So I've worked out the energetic, the way their energetics. Been talking for 2 hours and the brain's going to mush. So, and this one is lemon balm, peppermint, holy basil or tulsi, rosemary. Rosemary is lovely in teas, actually. Dried eucalyptus leaf. I did find that, but it was extraordinarily expensive. So I will see if I can find something else for you to put in there if you can't get eucalyptus leaf. A beautiful, or you can just leave it out anyway. It doesn't really matter. It's only a small amount. And if you are sourcing it, eucalyptus leaf, do make sure it's a tea one, because you can get medicinal type eucalyptus leaves, and you can get specific tea blend ones. So it needs to be that when you get it. And I finally found it, and then it was going to cost more to ship it than to actually for the leaves. And I thought, oh no. And then your water, and you just mix the herbs together, add a teaspoon of it into your cup, and enjoy. Beautiful. All right, my lovelies, who wants to meditate with our beautiful essential oil and our wondrous crystal? I'll just get that. There we go. So if you have, as I say, most of you probably don't have this one, but get your favorite crystal and just hold it while we're meditating. And if you have a Ravintsara or your favorite essential oil, it's lovely adding oils to your meditations. It's beautiful, really, really is. So let's go on a little wee journey. And just breathe. Just close your eyes and breathe. And there are places that cannot be found by searching. They appear only when our heart has grown quiet enough to hear the land calling your name. And one of these places is known as the Red Earth Sanctuary. It's an ancient valley hidden beyond the ordinary world, where the ochre cliffs rise beneath endless skies. Eucalyptus forests breathe with the wind, and time moves with patient rhythm of the earth itself. And today the sanctuary has opened its gates for you. Rest your crystal in your hands. Allow its warm reds, golds and creams just to become familiar beneath your fingertips. If you don't have one, just imagine it. You've seen the one I've shown you. Just imagine you're holding that in your hands. And then imagine that beautiful aroma of fragrance, that's a beautiful signature from Ravintsara, surrounding you like a beautiful fresh breeze of dawn moving through those silver green leaves. Take one slow breath. And another. And with every inhale, the air becomes fresher. And with every exhale, the busy world just begins to soften. The room around you remains, but drifts into the distance a little bit as another landscape awakens. And beneath your feet appears a pathway of smooth red stone, warmed by the memory of countless suns. And the earth is rich with ochre and terracotta, and tiny wildflowers bloom between the rocks in shades of cream and gold. The air is cool despite the warmth of the land, carrying the unmistakable scent of eucalyptus leaves touched by morning light. And ahead, a forest of ancient trees sway gently. Their pale trunks, they glow softly. Their leaves whisper together in language older than words. And as you begin walking, you notice that every breath comes more easily than the one before. Your shoulders soften, your jaw relaxes. Even your thoughts begin to spread out like clouds drifting across a vast Australian sky. You are not arriving as a stranger. You are arriving as one who has finally remembered the way. And at the edge of the forest, several figures wait quietly. They are the breath keepers of the Red Earth Sanctuary, caretakers of this ancient valley since before the first stories were spoken. Their robes are the colours of sandstone, eucalyptus bark and morning mist. Some gather fallen leaves from the forest floor. Others tend crystal springs that emerge from the red earth. One simply sits beneath a great tree, breathing with such peaceful presence that the birds have gathered around him without fear. None of them hurry. None of them seem surprised that you have come. And one keeper steps forward, places a hand over their heart and bows. Then they turn and begin walking deeper into the sanctuary, and you follow. The pathway winds through towering eucalyptus trees, whose branches arc overhead like a living cathedral. Sunlight filters through the leaves and soft emerald ribbons dancing across the warm earth beneath your feet. And the keeper pauses beside an enormous tree whose silver trunk just twists gracefully toward the sky. And they place one hand upon its bark, and you instinctively do the same. The tree feels warm, alive, and you close your eyes, and for a brief moment you sense seasons passing through it. Rain, drought, fire, renewal, flowering, stillness. Through every season, the tree remained rooted. The keeper speaks softly. The tree has never feared the changing sky. Silence follows, yet those words settle deeply within you. And you continue walking until the forest opens into a wide valley surrounded by red sandstone cliffs glowing beneath the morning sun. And at the center of the valley lies a perfectly still pool. Its water is so clear that the sky just seems to rest within it. And scattered around the pool are smooth stones that look remarkably like your prostonite, each one holding rivers of gold, rust, and cream within its surface. And the breath keeper, they all gather around the water one by one. They place eucalyptus leaves upon the surface of the pool, and the leaves drift outward, carried by currents too subtle to see. And your keeper gestures for you to kneel beside the water. And as you do, the surface becomes perfectly still. You expect to see your reflection, but instead you see the landscape of your own life unfolding like a painted valley. Moments of joy, moments of grief, times you felt strong, times you doubted yourself, seasons where everything seemed to be growing, and then seasons when nothing appeared to be happening at all. And the keeper sits beside you. The earth never rejects a season, they whisper. Why do we reject our own? And you watch as the landscape is different all around. It's different within the water, and it all begins to merge. The joyful valley, the storm-worn cliffs, the dry riverbed, that flowering meadow. They don't erase one another, they belong together. And just as the colours within Prostonite belong together, just as the forest and the desert belong together, just as breath and earth belong together, the pool is showing you something simple and profound. You have never been only your brightest season, not only your hardest one. You are the whole landscape. The breath keepers close their eyes. Each one places a hand over their heart. Without thinking, you do the same. And the fragrance of Ravintsara moves through the valley, cool, clean, spacious. The air itself seems to breathe through you. Your chest softens. Your heart becomes wonderfully warm. And the keeper smiles. The sanctuary has not changed you, they say. It has reminded you that every part of your journey belongs. They reach down and lift a single eucalyptus leaf from the water, and it glows in the morning light. They place it in your hands. This is the leaf of returning. Whenever life feels hurried, remember the valley. Whenever you forget your own strength, remember the cliffs. Whenever you struggle to breathe, remember the forest. And as you hold the leaf, it slowly dissolves into an emerald light that settles within your heart. And the breath keepers gather around you once more. And together they offer their blessing. May your roots grow deep. May your breath remain free. May you welcome every season of your life with kindness. May you remember that resilience is gentle. And may you always know that you belong to the great living landscape of life itself. The valley begins to soften. The cliffs become light. The forest becomes fragrant. And the pool becomes breath. And slowly you become aware once more of your body, resting peacefully where you began. Feel the surface beneath you. Notice the steady rhythm of your breath. Sense the prostonite in your hands. Imagine the cool fragrance of Ravintsara still lingering in the air around you. And take one final deep, loving breath. And as you exhale, know this: the Red Earth Sanctuary is never truly far away. It lives wherever your heart remembers that every season belongs. And whenever you breathe with awareness, the pathway will once more open. And when you're ready, just wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe stretch, maybe roll over and go to sleep. But if you're not sleeping, open your eyes gently and come back into this beautiful space. Wonderful. How are we feeling? Hope you're feeling a little more relaxed after all that information that was given to you throughout this. Very chill. I like that. That's a good way. Very chill. That's awesome. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, so am I. Feeling very chill, obviously. Oh, bless you, Jen. Thank you so very much. It's very kind of you. Wonderful. Well, it's going to be a whole new month when I see you again. A whole new month. Can you believe it? 1st of August. My pleasure, Maribel. Oh, my eyes twitching. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, Maribel. I'll get that recorded and popped up. So yes, we'll be joining together again in 2 days' time. Well, 1 and a bit now. And we'll be continuing on our chakra journey. And we are up at the galactic chakra this week. So my pleasure, Janendra. I'm so glad you're still here. Thank you. And so yes, I look forward to seeing you there again. So if you're new and you enjoyed what you saw, I'd love you to follow me. I am this far off 1,000 followers, so I would love it if you followed me. But listen to my tracks, and all these wonderful ways to support us as teachers is listen to our tracks, give them a good rating, come to our lives, and yeah, all those beautiful ways. Thank you, Howard. Thank you. That's so lovely. I've been putting a lot of my poems to music lately, which I'm really enjoying doing, and it's lovely hearing them in a different way. It's been really quite cool hearing my stories, and to me that's a real magical way for me. So yeah. You're still here. Good night, AJ. I did wave at you. You have a beautiful, beautiful sleep. Beautiful, beautiful sleep. It will be my Saturday, AJ. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, V. Thank you so much. Lovely to meet you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, my next one is my Saturday, which is your Friday night. And then I have one on your Sunday as well. So, yeah, they're all 2 days apart from yesterday and today. So, hello, Colleen. Lovely to see you. Welcome. Beautiful. Well, my darlings, I know you just said you're just tuning in, but I've been here for nearly 2.5 hours, so I think it's time to get up and do a walk and take a walk to the little room. Yes, Colleen, this one is a long one. This is always a long one. When we look at this, did you see the beautiful crystal? Beautiful, beautiful wheat crystal. And our oil, and a lovely oil. This is a beautiful oil for breathing. It really is. It is a beautiful crystal, isn't it? It's just fabulous. Oops, there we go. You can see it better like that. It is wonderful. Awesome, my darling friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for all the love you give me, all the beautiful energy you give me. I really appreciate that. You are the highlight of my day when I come online with you, and it's very special. So, love you all. Blessings to you all, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye. Bye, Jen. Bye, everyone.